I'm Michelle Hammond. Joining me today is Alexander Bear, and we're going to talk about climate change models. First though, we need to define science. What is science? Well, it's a way of understanding the world around us and everything in it, the whole universe, all matter, all energy, everything that's observable. Science is both a shared collection of knowledge and a method of collecting knowledge.
The study of the environment, the relationships between the natural world and all living beings which inhabit it, as well as the relationship of the natural world with itself, is one of the areas that science tackles. And within this area is the study of climate change. In essence, the study of climate change is the study and prediction of the trends of the many varied processes of the Earth, and the effects these processes have on each other and on our lives. These effects occur over a long period of time and are not seen or felt on a day-to-day basis. And to study and predict them, we use climate change models, which can be run on one computer, many computers, or even supercomputers. They work by simulating the processes of the Earth and projecting what effects or outcomes will be seen in the future. The study of climate change and climate change models is an interesting topic, as it is really all about the Earth we live on and how it works on a large scale. This ends up being important because without the Earth, we would not be here today. Now you may be asking yourself, if climate change is not felt on a day-to-day basis, what's the use of it for the average person? The truth is that climate change has many impacts on our society on a local, national, and global scale. Locally, the climate will slowly affect the way we live and how we will have to live in the future. On a national level, the climate will affect our decision making in important issues such as the safety of the citizens and increasing GDP. Finally, climate affects the world globally, because this is the world we live on, and any changes the world goes through will be felt by humans everywhere. The study of the climate and the information it provides us can be used in many different areas of life, such as in the pursuit for more food and water resources, predictions in disease patterns, the building and maintenance of infrastructure, and preparations for environmental catastrophes. Now, this information that climate research provides is given to many different people in different professions, such as scientists, engineers, urban planners, epidemiologists, architects, and many, many more professions. While most of these professions won't be necessarily familiar with the models used in climate change, they can use the information it provides for decision making within their own fields to work towards a more desirable and safer world that works for everyone. While climate change research is important, one of the social issues that can be identified with the field of climate change is the assertion that climate change is not a universally accepted fact among everyone, and that there is some contention as to whether climate change was devised as a way to make clean energy companies rich. Even if it was the case that climate change is globally recognized, that would make it almost inevitable that we will have to change the way we live, especially if the conclusions and implications of the research that have already been done are deemed accurate. While changing your lifestyle is simple, it isn't easy, and millions or even billions of people around you will have to change their lifestyles as well. Climate change research, especially climate modeling, is now very advanced. However, it didn't just happen. One of the major contributing factors in developing the study of climate change, and the key factor in the development of climate change models, is the invention of the computer. Without the computer, developing and running climate change models would be near nigh impossible. And as computers have become faster, more reliable, and more user-friendly, climate models have become more sophisticated, bigger in scale, and accurate.
Today we're going to talk about a research paper that was published in the peer-reviewed journal Continental Shelf Research. The study focus was using models as a way to improve the level of inorganic nitrogen pollution in the Bohai Sea, and it was carried out at the Ocean University of China using data from 62 locations across the Bohai Sea. The researchers used a 3D biogeochemical hydrodynamic water quality model with integrated pollutant load. Now, this type of model can't accurately predict maximum pollutant loads for different outlets, and so the researchers developed a new loop approximation calculation and integrated that to create a new type of model. They then used this model to run two different scenarios. The first was the current policy in the Bohai Sea, which was nitrogen pollutant reduction by 2% across the board. Research has shown that this method isn't currently working. Nitrogen pollution in the Bohai Sea is continuing to increase at a rate around 7% per year. The model projected that under this current policy, the nitrogen levels in the Bohai Sea would continue to increase, peaking at around 6 years before declining. The second scenario was the total maximum pollutant loads, or in other words, each outlet would have its own different maximum calculated to restore each area of the sea to an acceptable nitrogen pollution level. This simulation projected continual decreases in the Bohai Sea's nitrogen levels. Although the model can only create projections and not true predictions, the researchers build a strong case for further investigation of maximum allowable pollutant loads rather than an across-the-board 2% decrease. This study could have a detrimental effect on the economy and industrial enterprises along the Bohai Sea coast.
This study has contributed to scientific knowledge by providing us with new calculations that produce more accurate results in regards to long-term projections of water quality and pollutant loads. This is an important topic to look at as the Bohai Sea coastline harbors many industrial enterprises, and we are now able to have an insight into the concentration of pollutants in the Bohai Sea. We can then use this insight to simulate measures we can take to decrease this concentration. Finally, when we have properly simulated these measures and are certain that they are accurate and will have positive results, we can then take action to decrease the concentration of pollution in the Bohai Sea.
In summary, climate modelling is an important tool in climate and environmental research. It provides the ability to test scenarios and simulations without having the expense and time and potential damage of physically running large-scale experiments. And although climate models cannot currently accurately predict the future, as the technology and the global chemical and physical data becomes more advanced, models will become more accurate. And in many cases, a close approximation can outweigh physical testing and observation.
Thank you for listening to our presentation. We hope that this has given you valuable information and more insight into environmental research and climate modeling.